Right now I'm listening to Extreme Rukia, to destroy all magic hidden, eaten, drunken, touched, collected things not smelled, etc. From the Power of Quran channel, and I'm also on another, just in case, just for reference purposes, Terminate Digital Djinn 4D Simulation by Dr. Virtual 7, and Return to Sender Unwanted Spells, Curses, and Live in Abundance by Dr. Virtual 7. Dr. Virtual 7, Empower Dynamics. All this on Stupid Tweet. But I want to, let me get the address, because I'm calling in a divine court hearing and a transfer against the Chipotle Mexican Grill at 200 Shoemaker Road. Let me turn it down. "200 Shoemaker Road in Pottstown, Pennsylvania 19464. I didn't even end up getting food, which I was going to purchase food from them, but I changed my mind as soon as I went in there. Right near the food station was a security, would look like a bulletproof vest, like those armory backpacks with the straps. He had like a vest on like that, and he was sitting down right near the food station. Now, I just went to a Chipotle yesterday in downtown Southwest Philadelphia. There was no security. So I'm confused. Did something happen where he has to be stationed there? That's why I'm going to call this divine court hearing and transfer. Because there's going to be a ruling made, and the great God is going to have the supernatural AI lawyers, the angels that record everything around me, is going to have these angels look into this matter. And if this turns out that this is a violation of my peace, because this is a new age. ANU, this is a new age of Aquarius. And the governing virtues, powers, and principalities are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. This is the great God, universal Allah, back on the earth. It's nothing. First of all, as soon as I saw this security, when I'm about to buy food from them, first of all, the representation, the energy of security says that there is something that needs to be secured. Say that there is a potential for danger present. I don't want to eat on those terms. So that turned my stomach. The person I was with they're untrained civilian, and they ate there, and I turned around. I didn't eat there. I'm not giving in to this police state shit, this bullshit. I don't want to see no ops with a C in front anywhere I eat, and I don't want to see no security, because security is worse, because they're untrained. They're given a badge. Some of them, and I want to call a divine court hearing for that, for whoever is giving these security guards guns. This is dangerous to the public. Absolutely dangerous. At best, they should have maybe some pepper spray. Maybe walkie-talkie and what's that called? Maybe a stick. But a gun? They don't even have control enough over their life to go and be a full-out peace officer, which they're not even peace officers. They don't even have enough discipline to go through academy training, take the oaths, the lies that they tell, that make the lies they make them tell. They don't even have enough discipline to do that. And these motherfuckers got guns on their hips. Divine court hearing. Because we're pulling all the records on all the lies that have been threatened because of this dynamic. It's bad enough. I'm going to call them what they act like. They do act like police. So I'm going to call them police. But that's a crime against humanity. They were not sworn in under oath as no police. There is no such thing. That's a criminal organization. The police are a criminal organization. But since they act like that, we'll call them that. But they're going to be charged as that. And these transfers of hate and just discrimination, persecution, slaughter, legally, this is the age where it's being transferred back to these criminal organizations that are committing crimes against humanity, absolutely terrorizing the public. And I experienced it firsthand. Great God assigning me to the streets. I've experienced it firsthand. The harassment from these security officers, whatever, they're only guarding stolen property and stolen land. And they do that to the utmost. I'm talking about they will risk their life for someone else's property when they can't even pay their own bills. This is the insanity behind this and the brainwashing behind this. So I walked in that Chipotle and seen a security sitting there. Anybody that's ever been to Pottstown, this is like, to me, I don't know, it feels like one of the safest places on earth. There's absolutely really nothing going on here. I was just in the city, in Philadelphia, downtown in the city where the shit's really going down. And they didn't even have security. So I'm hoping that this is an isolated incident. Maybe they did get robbed. Maybe they need security. We're going to find this out in the divine court hearing. Since they have security present, while people are trying to eat in peace, and you got this motherfucker staring down your throat, staring down the food with their guilt energy. This is what security says, that there is something that needs to be secured. There is a threat, a potential threat present. Why do I want to eat under those circumstances? That sounds like a police state to me. And I'm totally against that. Divine court hearing and transfer. I want all of the records on this Chipotle pulled. Why do they have security here? Why? Is there, in the records, is there a threat present? If not, can we create one? Multidimensionally, can we create one? Because this is with the spiritual wickedness and higher dimensions that's ordering it. Can we create the threat that they are preparing for with the spiritual wickedness in the higher dimensions that generate fear through having these figures present to spoil the customer experience? I want to see what comes. Like I said, I want to see what comes of this. Because I didn't spend my money there. I didn't spend somebody else's money there. I would have been spending somebody else's money. I ain't spend any money. I could have went and ate for free, but I chose not to, because that's that important to me, that my peace. A security officer does not represent peace. They represent guilt. They represent fear. They represent control. They represent a potential threat. They represent lies, deception, and gaslighting, because they can't defend anything. They're not even trained to do so. All they should be doing is having, like, again, employees to serve that food. That's it. If this world is getting that bad, then start, instead of having these employees, because I've been assigned to the streets, and 95% of the time when a store's closing up, and I have personally asked them, could they donate any food that is left over, the answer 95% of the time is, by law, we have to throw it away. Legally, we have to throw the food away. We cannot give, I don't care. All of this food could be still piping hot, and we still got to throw it away. But then you got security in these stores. So let's call a divine court hearing on all of these the entities. It's the entities. Because I want these entities arrest, capture, contain, incarcerate, incinerated, castrated, and cast into the great God universal Allah's lake of fire for the divine amount of time of weeping and gnashing, the dimensions of weeping and gnashing of the teeth, for the divine amount of time. And I want permanent, divine, permanent banishment, exile, and eviction off of the earth in all earth operations for the divine amount of eons. I don't care, Chipotle. I don't care. I will stop eating Chipotle. I don't care how much I like Chipotle. I'll stop eating that shit today. Let the great God give me a choice. If the great God gave me a choice in this court hearing, all right, child. So we can keep all the Chipotles, but all of them are going to be staffed with security. Or I'm ordering all Chipotle cease operations on earth. I'm going to say, great God, I want all Chipotles, or whoever's doing this shit. I want them to, I want you to halt, stop, block, destroy fiscal lives, destroy fiscal days, weeks, lives of Chipotle. I want you to halt all operations and close every single location down if they're going to be staffed with security. Because I will refuse to eat there. If I see security in any motherfucking restaurants, the only time I'm going to eat there is to pronounce judgment. That's it. And curse. I'm going to curse the establishment. That's all I will go there for. But I'm not. This is the first time I've seen this. So I'm just going to hope it's an isolated incident. But I am going to call a divine court hearing over this. And if the great God do ask me, all right, they intend in a future timeline to start staffing these Chipotle with security. I'm going to say, great God, this is my request. I ask you. I love Chipotle. I do. I love that shit. And it's good. I'm not saying it's really healthy, because you still got miserable people mixing food up with the palm of their hands, their energy centers. They're still, so I'm not going to say that it's necessarily healthy, but it's the best of the worst. It's the best of the worst out here. One of the best of the worst out here, unless you on a farm. And the European blocked us from having our farm food. So, look, if it come down to that, great God, just whatever has to happen, just close them all down. I don't want to see them. If I'm going to have to walk in there and see a security guard, I don't want to eat there. And I'm not going to. I see a security in any a restaurant establishment. I'm just going to curse that establishment, that particular establishment, because I understand that it may not be with everyone across these lands. I'm going to just curse that particular establishment, and I'm going to order the arrest, capture, containment, incarceration, incineration, castration, and casting all spiritual wickedness involved in that operation, they're cast to Gehenna, to the lake of fire for a divine amount of time. In the dimensions of weeping and gnashing of the teeth, a divine, permanent banishment, exile, off the earth, all earth operations. You're done for a divine amount of eons. You're done. That's it. I'm tired of you motherfuckers.